Welcome to Real Talk with Michael and Lisa. It's not going to get more real than this.
This is where we're going to talk about real life, real marriage, real conflict, real things. So real, we're still processing a conflict on how to start this video.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Not really.
Yeah, it wasn't beautiful.
But that's life, right? And it's relationship.
Yeah, I love you.
And I love you.
I love you a lot.
I love you more. So, as there's still a little bit of tears in my eyes, we have a heart. We have a heart for relationship. We have a heart for people. We have a heart to see people get healed, transformed, and reach breakthrough. And for those of you who don't know us, Michael and I have been married nearly 2 years, but we have over 40 years of combined marriage experience.
Yeah, both of our spouses passed away in 2015, and we met 2 years later and had a whirlwind engagement, and 6 months later we were married. And I guess that's not a whirlwind, but felt like it. And here we are today, a year and a half later, a little over that.
Yep.
And this last couple months ago, we were just processing. I was processing and came to Lisa and realized, Lisa knows me more than anyone else does. But there's still things that she doesn't know. I'm not fully known. And I realized, wow, I have this heart's desire to be fully known by Lisa. And that's the most terrifying thing I could imagine. I want to be fully known because in the middle of being fully known, I can only be fully accepted. I can only be fully praised. I can only be fully loved from a position of being fully known. And if I'm fully known, then I can be fully rejected. I can be criticized. I can be accused. And I don't have any of me hidden anywhere to say, oh, but they don't know that about me. I'm really not that bad, or whatever it is. And so, we have decided to intentionally go on a most beautiful and terrifying journey.
Of vulnerability, of honesty, of nothing hidden. Considering this is our second marriage, we can say that our first marriages were successful. To be married 19 and 20 years and to raise kids and to do all of that, that's successful, but surviving, not necessarily thriving. So in this marriage, I remember my motto going into it was, I want to do round 2 right. Which that means if I want this marriage to look different than my first marriage, that means I have to do something different. And choosing into that has been a huge challenge. To choose into vulnerability, to letting Michael know what my fears are, and choosing into humility and saying I'm sorry and processing my own triggers and going after healing. But we're not any different than anybody else out there.
No, to be really honest, like starting this, I've done a lot of other videos like this in the past, and when I was single, I did a number of FaceTime lives, and I was just sitting down or Facebook Live, I was ready to sit down and just kind of shoot off the cuff and go for it, and so I started it, and Lisa wanted to at least start with a little more structure, and we had a totally different idea of how it was going to start, and
the truth is we're different people with different ideas, and our brains are wired differently, and that's beautiful, and that's what allows us to complement each other and become a great team. But does that sometimes create friction? Does it sometimes create conflict? Do we have to work through those things? Absolutely. But the one thing that we have chosen, and the one thing I do think that makes us different and our marriage different, is that we are choosing to fight for connection. We are choosing to make connection priority over conflict.
Yeah, the truth is, I mean, we talked it through and we laid out my perspective of the conversation, because we ended at kind of an impasse of, hey, this is what happened. Like, no, so we both went through and laid out what happened, and the truth is, I don't know that we both completely, I don't know if I completely understand Lisa's perspective, and I don't feel like I'm completely understood in my perspective. And in the middle of that, I decided, okay, well, let's roll this video. And I wasn't planning on finishing processing it now, because we want to make this a shorter clip. But the truth is, we're not going to back down from being vulnerable and honest just because it's not clean. And it's not cute, clean, and sanitized. We want to show up, and even if we just had a disagreement and it was unpleasant, or not really unpleasant, but just maybe a little scary, uncomfortable, we're still going to show up and say, hey, this is where we're at, and we're going for a forever marriage.
And to be honest, if we can be really real about our conflicts, I think that'll be the most valuable. A lot of people out there are in marriages and they need new tools, and they want to know how do they get beyond their conflicts and how they process things, and we're not perfect. But I think that's actually some of the most valuable things, is to let you guys in instead of trying to make our lives look Instagram perfect. Instead, inviting you guys in and going, we're not perfect, and here's some of the things we're struggling with, and here's some of the things we're working through, and here's some of the ways we're getting help, and here's some of the new tools that we're working on trying to practice, and maybe it'll help somebody else, and then it'll be worth it.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of things right, so we want to talk about those things. We want to encourage people, but honestly, those things can feel a little disconnected, because we've already gone through the training wheel stage, and we're already like, hey, look, we can ride the bike now, Mom, and that's nice. We want to bring that kind of stuff to you, that kind of content to you. But when something like this happens, we want to bring that to you also, because that actually is going to be more real and more valuable to know that that you can choose connection in the middle of disconnection. You can choose to stay together and still go ahead and do what you're planning on doing. And it may not look like what you had planned on it looking like. It may not be as pretty or as lighthearted or as excited, woo, as you were imagining it would be. But you know what? It's still love. Love is a choice that we both have made, and that choice doesn't change when we misunderstand.
It doesn't change based on our mood. It doesn't change based on our emotions. But we believe that right now is the perfect time for us to start doing this. The whole world is in a reset. Everybody is paused. It's like we're playing tag and we're frozen right now. We're frozen.
Last month. We got frozen a month ago. Someone please tag me. Get me out of this.
But based on what we're reading, we're seeing that tension is higher in people's homes. You read that there's been 30% increase?
Yeah, 30% increase in domestic abuse calls, and we just want to give you all hope.
Yeah.
We want to let you know that we see you, and we've experienced a lot of the tension and stuff, and we have avidly pursued connection and chosen to not honor our need to be right over our need to stay connected.
Yeah, and it's something that we feel really strongly about, that we are pursuing personally, and it's something that we're trying to equip other people with through the coaching that we've been offering. So we're working with couples before they're married to help equip them with tools that they need for an amazing marriage, and also for couples who are married and are needing to work through. They're at a bypass and they can't, they don't know how to work through it on their own.
So anyway, we love you so much. We'll be back. We'll run into another conflict so we can do another video.
Or we'll just talk about something
We're doing well
pertinent.
so we can look good. We love you so much. You guys have a great day. We bless you. Goodbye.
Bye.